One thing about life is that you can't work with everyone, and I'll explain why I can't work with Origin right now, at least. There are many players that I dislike on NA3, but I have chosen 5 people to hate with a commitment, and hate is a strong word. It is because they are the most dangerous to a house or a community. Some of them are very chill and nice, but extremely manipulative in my opinion. They were the main players who pulled the string to result me to stop NA3 content. Now, that's just my side, so take it with a grain of salt. Overall, from my experience, I've learned that people who works with these 5 tend to have very questionable traits, and other things as well, but we are going to focus only on one part, the questionable traits, for the people who associate with these 5. I found out that one of these 5 was in Origin on August 13th, but let's go back to August 10th. I was talking with the Liege of Origin Center. We're talking about the inaccuracy of 1 versus 1 versus 1 and how I only had Kebab's side, and I planned to make the fix on the summary video. Then the conversation led to not getting Eden's side of the story, which is a fair point. Then I expressed that I don't work with someone who's bad or narcissistic, and mentioned that I'm not saying that the Liege of Eden is bad, but it seems like it's not a good idea to talk to him right now. I did make the initiative first with the Liege of Eden, but I stopped after the Liege of Eden did not share much of the story, something general that I could see on the map. Moreover, a player from Eden wanted to share the highlight, and when I asked the Liege of Eden if I can add his highlight, he declined it. Based on that interaction, I've decided to avoid Liege of Eden for now because I didn't receive anything like that from any other lieges in the community. It made me take caution, so I decided to avoid him for now since I wasn't sure who I was dealing with. After expressing to Center that it might be a bad idea to talk to him for now, I got a direct message from Liege of Eden telling me that I told quote unquote shit like calling us narcissist, and showed me the screenshot of my conversation with Center. Then he deleted the screenshot, so I don't have the screenshot of him giving the screenshot, but I do have the rest of the conversation saved. And I don't share screenshots unless I have to. So then I said I didn't call him a narcissist, and he called me blind because I think to him it seemed like I was implying that he's a narcissist, but I just was avoiding the Liege of Eden based on how he won't let his members share the highlight with no communication or tactics. I really saw no harm in it. But by this point, I didn't want to deal with the Liege of Eden, and working with someone like him, who's a bit volatile in my opinion, just seems like a bad idea for me and my work, so I've decided to cut him off. Then I told Center, the Liege of Origin, that I don't share screenshots, but he said he doesn't care and he would share everything he says here with everyone. Then he told me that, quote unquote, I can tell you, you will have a lot of fun from now on. Eden won't stop after this. XD. I went through it 3 seasons. And I found that response very irresponsible. I personally would have apologized for causing some drama, but there was no apology from him, and the fact that he put XD, quote unquote, and said I'll have drama from Eden showed me that he has zero thoughts for me. And that's not a good sign. That's not someone who's trying to work together with you. It might be funny for him, but it really does show his character a lot. Working with this guy would feel like working while having a drama bomb on my back. I don't share screenshots of people that I work with. It's wrong in my point of view. At least I should ask for permission out of respect. Maybe that's not the case for Center, but that is a questionable integrity on my book. Now, on my YouTube comment, he wants me to remove raid head for Origin since I didn't know where the raid groups were at. This made me thought. Imagine if I work with Center for months, like 3 or 4 let's say, and have House Origin and him to be a key figure in the story for EU1. Then he shares some screenshots of our conversation without my consent and causes drama, then types XD again, and then this time I choose to not to work with him because he's causing me too much trouble. After that, he would demand me to remove his raid heads from my story. Imagine facing that dilemma after committing for months, after making him and his house a key figures, and then he demands me to remove them because I won't tolerate his behavior. This is a nightmare scenario for me, and I would definitely regret a lot like I did in NA3. Do you think it's wise to work with someone like this? Especially if you're putting a lot of work? For me, it feels like working with a knife on my back or working with someone who doesn't care about you. I can't work like that, I just can't. You can't work with everyone. Some are manipulative, some are narcissistic, and some have other reasons. If you work with these people, there are high chances that your work and all the good people you've worked with may lose a lot. This incident happened on August 10th, 3 days before I found out that one of the 5 is in Origin. So at this point, I said there's enough red flags for me, so I've decided to stop working with Sensei. Cut the losses early before he causes another drama, because like he said, he doesn't care. I'm sorry for the Origin community members who has to deal with this unfairness, but now 2 out of 5 are in Origin, next it will be 3. And I hope Origin community can keep them checked. I don't want Origin to kick them out because of me, that would be wrong. However, there is my interest too. To me, those 5 are litmus test for a community or the leadership in NA3. I suppose the same litmus test worked in EU1 as well. I started to cover EU1 to not deal with them at all. And now, I have to deal with them. And deal with them I shall. I will take caution. It's hard to see or measure the manipulation, so I just have to be very cautious. And I believe I'm right to take caution with Sensei. I cannot work with him anymore. I'm not going to take that risk. As much as I want to work with everyone, not everyone has your interest or cares about you. Some people just don't care. And you can't work with them. It's just too dangerous and unwise. I do want to work with other lieges, generals, or just a regular player to add more colors to our territorial wars. The only thing I ask is to understand my side too. I don't want to see my work go to waste again, like NA3. EU1 has been so supportive for most part, and I really appreciate it. I hope we can grow this game and the community bigger. You can contact me on my Discord if you want to work with me to get there, together. Thank you.